Well, good afternoon, financial professionals. My name is Dan Peterson. I'm president at E4 Insurance Services. You don't have Abby's happy face today, as she was just wrapping up a call, but I'm happy to host the brew today, building relationships every week. And before we get to our speaker, as is our custom, we typically start our meeting with a celebration of the National Day, and today is National Presidential Joke Day. It's observed annually on August 11th, and the day recognizes, somehow my screen just moved. Hold on a second. The day recognizes humor often found and yet not so appreciated in the highest office in the land. And I love the story that it began on August 11th, 1984, when during a sound check for his Saturday evening radio broadcast, President Ronald Reagan joked, "My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes." Now, since 1982, the networks had agreed comments made during sound checks were off the record. However, someone leaked the recording to the general public, and eventually CBS broadcast the recording on its Monday evening reports. Critics blasted Reagan as being unpresidential, and others considered the joke harmless under most circumstances. So, National Presidential Joke History. There you go. Today on the brew, we're very pleased to welcome Zach Schnitzler. Zach is the life specialist for Eide Bailly. Eide Bailly is a top 25 CPA firm and consulting firm helping middle market grow and thrive. They were founded in Fargo, North Dakota in 1917, and they now have over 40 offices in 14 states, and they're ranked as a top 25 accounting firm in the nation. Eide Bailly, like many firms, has clients that are business owners, high net worth, taxation is a big topic, and they've created a financial services practice of which Zach is part of and is their life specialist. Today on the brew, Zach is part of our advisor series. Zach is going to share with us how to manage centers of influence relationships and have that become a meaningful part of your business. So Zach, welcome. The mic is yours.
Appreciate it. Yeah, as Dan said, I'm Zach Schnitzler, life insurance specialist with Eide Bailly. So been here coming up on 2 years. So a lot of it has been a very virtual world with, like you said, over 40 offices, 2,500 employees. But my job day in and day out is to create life insurance planning opportunities within the firm. And as you might realize, I know many of you have, likely have CPA center of influences that you're working with now. Everybody thinks quite differently. So when I came in, I've been in the life industry for about 10 years, come in completely different working with CPA. So I'm like to share my experiences a little bit today. Hopefully it can help you out. And it's kind of fitting. It's, National Presidential Joke Day, and we get to talk about taxes a little bit. So that no matter, we'll see what how it all goes here. So appreciate your time. All right. So as I mentioned, I mean, every profession, especially inside the financial industry, I'll throw an attorney in there, I'll throw a CPA, I'll throw a financial advisor, insurance specialist, what have you. Everybody looks at things a little bit different. And as you see, on this page here, if we had something even as simple as 2 + 2, everybody's response is going to be different. So yes, we're talking about managing center of influences today. I'm going to focus exclusively on CPAs and accountants, but yeah, I mean, it's truly, they are the tax man. They are the person that, in my opinion, clients are likely asking more financial questions than any other profession, maybe even some financial advisors. So one thing we did find through a study was about 3 of every 10 clients will ask their CPA for help about their personal finances, even though that's not their primary role, but they are truly the trusted advisor. And us advisors, accountants, I said it 3 times now, can think completely different. So how do we truly start to think like an accountant or a CPA? Well, it really starts with, I hate to use the word selfish, but Dan, do you know what this stands for? I'll put you on the spot.
What's in it for me?
Bingo. Bingo. So the approach that we are taking on the financial services side here at Eide Bailly is we are treating our CPAs like they are the client, and they almost are just important as the client, because truly what we're finding is the clients are turning to the CPA to almost make the decision. It's amazing how many, virtual head turns we'll see the client make to, look at the CPA box and really seeing, is this going to help? So if we're looking to approach the CPA and make them look good, what do we have to do? Well, it's truly helping them solve a problem. It's, in the life insurance world, taxes are a huge thing, whether that be on the cash accumulation side or, creating leverage outside of an estate to pay estate taxes. Taxes are a huge thing. And how can we better help the CPA manage their tax situation for their clients? Now, what I've also found is these CPAs are obviously extremely smart. They pass one of the hardest tests there is, but they don't often know everything. So I'll share a little story there. Just recently, Dan, I know you've sent out quite a bit on 7702 changes, allowing clients to put more money into a life insurance contract, thus reducing cost. So I get approached all the time, deferral, how can we help deferral? How can we help deferral? How can we help deferral? Well, this particular client he is a business owner, S Corp. Wages total between him and his spouse were under $325,000. Still making a very, very high income. However, current tax rates in 2021 for anything really around that 325,000 mark and under federally are around 24%. Well, as most of us on this call, me, Dan, probably you, what do we think tax rates are going to do, especially with a blue administration right now? Well, maybe it is a good year to actually pay tax. We talked through this and talked through the concept of the Roth alternative, using a life insurance strategy to put as much money in as possible. There's no $6,000 maximum like there is a Roth. So, for somebody making $325,000, A, they can't qualify, but B, it's kind of like 6,000 is kind of like spitting in the ocean anyways when they're saving money. So we look through a strategy like this, like I said, with the 7702 changes, allowing folks to put in more money than they could last year. It really created yes, it's a deferral strategy. It's using after-tax money now, but if designed appropriately, it'll never be taxed again. This group of 3 CPAs that are pretty high up at our firm, like I said, we have 2,500 employees, almost 400 partners. They did not know anything about a concept like this. Now, kind of backtracking how we get there, we typically, if we're going to a CPA's office, we're not necessarily just going in kind of slinging ideas, check out what the flavor of the month right now. We've really backed that up and created client profiles instead. So our marketing team, along with E4, is working on putting together some one-pagers on client profiles. That's what we want to talk about, instead of, hey, there's new 7702 changes. Hey, the state tax exemption might go down. We'd rather talk about the client itself that we are working with. And we know that our CPAs are working with extremely similar people, just with a different name, different business name, different, business type. So the three that we are putting together right now are affluent professionals, typically under the age of 50. Now, this typically means high income employees. So that would be doctors, key executives, etc. Well, obviously the people in this life have a lot of working years left. There could be income replacement challenges if something were to happen. Why we focus on affluent professionals like this? They don't really have all that many deferral options. Maybe we could help them in a different way tax-wise, like we just talked about with the 7702 changes. Our second client profile that we are creating is business owner. Eide Bailly majority works with businesses. What can we do, CPA, to help you help them? When's the last time you had your buy-sell reviewed? So we actually have a business valuation department here as well. So we, in conjunction with our business valuation department, will do a complimentary buy-sell review. For folks out there that don't have a service like that, there are some insurance companies that will do an informal buy-sell review, and the presentations are really nice. I believe the two companies are Principal and John Hancock, maybe?
Mutual of Omaha.
Mutual of Omaha, okay. Huge topic of discussion, and one that really the CPA should know about. Are there agreements in place if something were to happen? And that doesn't always have to mean death. What we're finding on the buy-sell reviews are most have not updated them in a long time. So we're looking at trigger or funding mechanisms, typically insurance on death and disability, but also valuation method. Is the, is it a stipulated value? I've literally ran into a buy-sell review where stipulated value was in there. They said the business was worth X, but that was 10 years ago, and they've had massive growth. Also on the business owner, are you doing everything you can to maximize value? That'd be keeping, taking care of your key people, etc. Then our third one, and this is largely where Eide Bailly Financial Services works, is high net worth individuals over the age of 50. And two big key things there: long-term care planning, advanced estate planning. On the estate planning side, our CPAs are nervous that the exemption amount, which is over 22 million right now, could go down to as low as 7 million, bringing in a lot more folks that might have estate tax liability as it sits today. What most likely will happen, in our opinion, is it just sunsets in 2026 and goes back to 11 million. So, like I said, instead of going in with, hey, we got this new product that's got these long-term care riders, et cetera, we're telling our CPAs who we are working with. So kind of where we get to after that, CPAs extremely like the policy review process. If you haven't done it with E4 for permanent current policies in force for clients, specifically permanent, they're very good at it. Very detailed summaries. So, it'll show everything from policy performance to company performance. And, coming in with just a little summary for CPAs is really not good enough. They want to see the details. So very nice to show them everything. And we've gotten a ton of traction with the policy review process, especially where low interest rates are today extremely low. So client profiles, help CPA with their clients' tax problems and really treating them like the client, because in a lot of situations, they are going to be the decision maker. I think that's about my time. Dan, it's 12:14. Does anybody have any questions at all?
Sure, Zach, I think we'll open it up. If there's any questions, you can open up, unmute, and ask, or also just put it in the chat box. Zach, you were our 2020 all-around top advisor. You were in our top 10 for life insurance, top 10 for annuity, and top 10 for the linked benefits, the long-term care and the hybrid long-term care products. So you're getting the message out, and it is getting traction. Of course, you did have to fight the pandemic and going virtual in 40 offices. I know you've used technology a lot, and you
Yep.
the electronic application process is a big part of your business. How is that helping with the 40 offices and being able to do business virtually?
For sure. Yeah, so we are doing an electronic application every single time we can. And it is making it much easier. I mean, just with, I don't know if anybody's working in Washington, but last week with many insurance companies backing out of Washington, we got quite a few applications done with people I've never met before because it's a virtual process. So definitely. And always trying to look for accelerated underwriting too when we can.
Zach, I have a question. This is Shane Van Patten. So I've worked with a lot of CPAs before, and a lot of the CPAs, even personally that I've worked with, are, they're always in the mindset of reducing taxes now, right? They've never asked me, are you considering to have, reduction in taxable income in retirement? So kind of to your point where you said that a lot of people aren't aware of these new ideas. What have you found as a soft approach to a seasoned CPA to bring up a new idea to consider?
Stay away from the seasoned CPA. No, I'm just kidding. But so there's going to
Correct answer.
There's going to be people that are completely stuck in their ways, and we know that. But it comes down to retirement plan diversification. So if we can get through showing future taxes, like they will be there. There are the right ones that will absolutely listen, and tax now is an okay thing too. I don't know if that answered your question much, but it's also about finding the CPAs that want to be true business advisors for their clients and absolutely doing what's in their best interest and not just depreciating everything this year. The joke is, why did the accountant cross the road so he could write off his mileage? So, a lot of them are going to be like that, but it's getting the point across, case studies, sharing ideas that we've already done for similar clients too.
Yeah, we've enjoyed a 12-year relationship now, E4 with Eide Bailly and being their insurance partner. And Zach and I have talked at length extensively about this, Shane, that many times CPAs believe in insurance when it comes to protection. Okay, we need to have the coverage to protect for income replacement, and so they focus on protection type products. The cash accumulation story it is a challenge for many of the CPAs because either A, as Zach brought up, they're not aware, and that's why 7702 has been such a good lead in that we can educate the CPA on the fact that these products have now become more efficient, and that really your drag on the product is cost of insurance. And when you compare that to cost of tax in the future and cost of tax in the growth phase, that efficiency is something that they should consider as part of a suitable recommendation. And so we're seeing those changes start to happen.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yep. Zach froze up, it looks like.
Oh,
there he's back.
all right. Oh yeah, weird. I'm even in the office. It said I just lost connection, but it has been the number one challenge for sure, is the cash accumulation side. Eide Bailly Financial Services has done protection-based insurance in the past, and it's been my goal to build the other side too. And yeah, 7702 has been extremely timely because it's a reason to talk to people too.
Any other questions? Well, Zach, we really appreciate your share. A lot of good information there, and your partnership. And we do have a drawing that we offer every week. So I need you to pick a number between 1 and 23.
I'm going with my favorite hockey player of all time, Mike Modano, number 9.
Number 9. Who's our winner? Ravi Chand will be the winner, this week's winner. Ravi, you'll be receiving a gift card for your favorite brew at I think it's Starbucks, and also a CE credit. So thank you for joining this week. And
yeah, thank you guys.
Very good.
Super valuable.
Appreciate it.
Everyone, that's this week's brew, building relationships every week. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week, where we have Jason Joffreys, who's the Regional Vice President with Prudential, and he'll be discussing the new business owner ebook that Prudential is bringing out. This book helps advisors better address the questions to ask during the different stages of a business life cycle, and also offer life insurance solutions that are appropriate for the state that they're currently in, the startup phase, the growth phase, the mature business, or the transition phase. So we'll look forward to seeing you next week on The Brew. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.